Back, everyone. Probably one of the best anime of this year has come back after a long summer holiday. That's right. Spike's family is back, and Anya's back. Akawak! Oh, catchphrase. Oh god, I never get old every time. Anyway, the first episode has just come out, and it's been an absolute blast to watch. First of all, we've got Lloyd and Yor doing what they do best. There have been a lot of hype recently, and I think the first episode has lived up to that hype. It has almost all the fun and thrills of the first 12 episodes, along with, just in general, a new... there's no change in anything. It's just nice to see it back. And at the same time, we're getting the dog. Because in the manga, the Lloyd family does have a dog. And this is the first episode we actually meet the dog. And right off the bat, things get moving because somehow Anya got her first Stellar Star in the first, part of the first season. And of course, as a reward for getting it, they're going to get her a dog. And so what are the Lloyd family doing? Well, they're off to find a dog. And as a result, they visit a pet shop. We get some rather funny stuff there. And then, of course, they go off to a dog adoption fair to actually get, Anya a dog. And, of course, we see you're going all cutesy over the dogs, which is probably exactly what I expected. And also, we've got Lloyd having to take care of business again. If anything, it's nice to see just about everything what made the show so good back again in the first episode. And also the fact there's more plots and schemes to drive East and West apart. However, I suppose one bad element, I think, is just the fact that, Anya doesn't really do a thing until the end of the episode. Yes, spoiler alert, I know I'm doing it again, but she doesn't. And, it would have been nice to see Anya doing a lot more, given the fact that she's basically part of the main cast, and she did quite a fair bit in the the first bit of the show. She was quite active, demonstrating why she's a top-level assassin. But nonetheless, what we do get is very entertaining, to say the least. I think it's just the fact that the other thing that was a bit bizarre was the fact that Yor refers to Lloyd as Lloyd-san and Anya as Anya-san, which does seem a bit odd given the fact that Anya pretty much refers to them as mum and dad. That probably does seem a bit jarring. Okay, granted, this is just the Japanese subversion, and the dubbed episode will be probably coming out in the next few days afterwards. But nonetheless, it's still nice to see all the cast again, along with the dog. And, of course, Anya's doing her usual psychic tricks. Which is always something funny to watch, given the fact that she gets the thing what they're all going through and keeps the secret because it just makes her life so entertaining. And then we've got the whole plot. It's borrowing a lot from, I think, just in general, the sort of political activism of the 1950s and, 60s rather, in which I think everyone and anyone was out to try and cause trouble. And in this case, it's a student group who's like the villain of the week in this episode. So that is something else. I think they're building a lot more on the international mystery side of the story here, rather than Anya's schoolwork and trying to get Anya to achieve well in the school and also do well in school. I think the other thing is also just, in general, we see Yor going all to pieces when Anya disappears, and actually realizing like how much of a brain that while Yor is the brilliant assassin she couldn't really think all that much. And watching her go all to pieces like that is kind of funny. But also at the same time, I wish Yor did more. I wish we got to see her do something more, rather than just, I don't know, just keep an eye on Anya for a while and demonstrate her assassin abilities. But she does do that in her classic way. And at the same time, we see her, I guess, just over-obsessing over small details again, which was something I think that was very funny. Because as someone who does Fred a lot, it's actually kind of funny to actually see that happen. And I think the way Yor does it, she is pretty much almost like the overprotective mother. I mean, really overprotective. Fretting over the fact of small details. I mean, the fact she thought Anya was eaten by a dog, but then she thinks, oh, wait a minute, a dog wouldn't eat a person? And then she goes absolutely hilarious as well with, oh boy, sort of like she is a news story about the fact of a number of young girls being kidnapped and forced into marriage. That's the conclusion she comes to. That's probably the most logical one, but aside that, usually when something like that happens, it's usually teenagers are the ones that are forced into it, not children. And while yes, that does happen in, I think, like places like India and Africa, the girls are usually at least 12, if I understand. But anyway, getting off topic here. I think the other thing that is also quite good, I think, is just the fact that the way the ending seems to highlight the new domesticality of the Folger household, with Lloyd, Yor, and Anya just doing their thing. You know, they wake up in the morning, they go about their business, they have some fun. And then, of course, Anya somehow manages to make a mess in the most hilarious way possible. And then, of course, with Mum and Dad's help, they cook up a slap-up meal. We also get some stuff like Dad's best friend comes round to visit and to babysit, and he and Anya have some talk about some funny stuff as he does what cool uncles do. And then, of course, we see, I don't know, maybe one of Lloyd's friends shows up, and then at the same time, Anya's other uncle shows up, and Yor and little brother can have some catch-up quality time, as they do. It's just very nice to see the fact that the Lloyd family's rather odd domestic scenario just acted out and how funny it is. Oh, it's nice to see it all again. And it's nice to see the fact they've started off with just enough to get the show going, but also just enough to keep people interested in the show. Oh, it was very nice to see it all back. Well, this is the Universal Challenger signing off. Asking you to please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheerio.